Greetings, yogis. My name is Kris and I'm a teacher with TruFusion. We have a lot of events coming up this weekend. We have Juneteenth, we have Father's Day, and we have International Yoga Day, which is about healing and a return to wholeness. And to sort of honor all of these events, TruFusion has asked if I would lead a 30-minute guided meditation. So I have the fabulous Leanne and Vanessa joining me as demonstrators, and they are also teachers with TruFusion as well, so you can catch them on the schedule. So, meditation. Why is it important? I personally believe it's the heart of the yoga practice. So much like the physical practice of yoga, it stretches us in unique ways, which initially can be uncomfortable, but ultimately the aim is to seek deeper understanding. And that's what these times are calling for. A deeper understanding. And to get to that deeper understanding, we need to heal. And to touch healing, we need truth. And that's what meditation does. It allows us to address the truth of who we are, and then to step into the world with open eyes and to just really see what's happening around us and make changes for the better. So maybe that's leaning into your courage. Maybe that's advocating for accountability. Maybe that's speaking up when you see injustice and inequality, and ultimately, again, changing for the better. And so with that, let's begin with a seat where we can tune in. So yogis, I want you to just simply find a comfortable seat. Anything that works for you. You're gonna rest the hands on the thighs. And if you feel like you need a little bit more grounding, turn the palms down. And if you feel as if you need a little bit more inspiration, turn the palms up. So it's time to get still now. It's through stillness that we become a bit more conscious of the essence of who we are. And we start with breath. We notice how it moves through us, where it feels a bit caught, stuck, uneven, or imbalanced. And we do our best to create a breathing pattern that's full and that's rich, that's deep. So we are going to start with a little bit of gentle movement, but let's just stay here for a few breaths more, connecting to your full breathing. Letting it guide you, letting it carry you through. Beautiful yogis. And then folding the hands into the heart space, using your thumbs to lift your chest up. Just taking a moment to set an intention that every time we sit, we become a bit more aware and conscious of the essence of who we are. Always making a commitment to change for the better. Collective inhale through your nose. Open up the mouth and exhale. And then flutter your eyes open, align the head on the spine. Let's take a few sun breaths. So take an inhale, you're gonna reach your arms around and up just to gather some length. And then on the exhale, melt the hands to heart space. Do that a few times. Take an inhale, reach the arms up, get some space in the body. And then on the exhale, melt the hands to heart center. One more, take an inhale, link your breath to your movement. And exhale, hands to heart space. And then yogis, let's take a gentle side stretch. So take an inhale, reach the arms up. I want you to interlace your hands and then you're gonna flip the palms. Take another inhale as if the trunk of the body could lift up and off the pelvis. And then on the exhale, tilt it over to the right. Wake up the left side body. Come back to center, tilt it over to the left. We're gonna do that 2 more times through. So taking an inhale, and then exhale, lean it out to the right. Take an inhale, lean it out to the left. Nice, and then come back to center, take another inhale, grow the spine tall. And then on the exhale, we're gonna release the hands, bring them out in front of you. And take an inhale, pull your chest forward. Just a very simple hip opener. On the exhale, fold it in. So stay here for a few breaths. So the reason that I always like to start with some gentle movement is really just to target some of the areas that get a little fussy when we sit for an extended period of time. Primarily the hips, the spine, and the shoulders. So just a little bit of simple movement to bring some opening and just awakening to these areas. So take 2 more breaths. Nice. Full inhale through your nose. Open up the mouth and exhale. And you're gonna press into the hands to slowly make your way on up. I want you to just take a quick peek and see what leg's in front because we're gonna switch the crossing. So hands behind you, send the legs forward, take a little swish out, just shake out the legs. Nice. And then switch the crossing, so bringing the opposite leg forward. So hands to heart space. Now a twist for the spine. Take an inhale. You're gonna use your thumbs to lift your chest up. And then on the exhale, turn over towards your right. Eventually you get to this place where you get a little stuck, and when you can't turn anymore, place your right hand behind you, left hand to the outside of your right knee. Take an inhale, grow the spine a little taller. And then on the exhale, you press into the hands and turn. Do that 2 more times for yourself. Let that be your mantra. Inhale, you gather length. Exhale, you press in the hands and turn. Last one, take an inhale. And exhale. And then slowly come back to center, hands to heart space. Let's take it to side 2. Inhale, gather your length. Exhale, now you're gonna turn towards your left. And when you get to that place where you feel a bit stuck, use the hands for assistance. Left hand behind you, right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Inhale, gather your length. And then on the exhale, you turn a little deeper. Inhale, grow the spine tall, get some space. And then on the exhale, turn into the space that you're creating for yourself. 1 more round. Inhale and exhale. And then slowly come back to center and our hip stretch, side 2. So just lean forward, place the fingertips out in front of you, take the in breath, pull the chest forward, and then on the out breath, you fold in. And so we're using this practice to get a sense of our inner world. And I say it's always important. Yes, we know how to navigate our outer world, but also equally important that we know how to navigate our inner world. Take 2 more breaths. Nice. Fuller inhale through your nose. Open up the mouth and exhale. And then slowly again, make your way on up. And then once you're up, hands behind you, send the legs forward. And again, take a little swish out, just release the knees. And then the joints, they need a little love too. So circle your ankles a few times one direction. Sometimes they get a little stiff, so use the movement to shift around stagnant energy. And then once you've gone one way, reverse the circle and go the opposite. And this next one, it's just a simple opener for the chest, because when we sit, the chest tends to get a little saggy. We close off the heart space. So we really want to get that spread through the chest, through the collarbones. You keep your hands behind you, fingertips are going to face the back wall, and then just walk the hands a little closer in so the collarbones widen. And we're just going to take 3 big breaths. So take an inhale, let the breath ride up into your collarbones. Exhale, let it out. Nice. Take an inhale, let the breath ride up into the chest. Exhale, let out the stale air. Last one, take an inhale, you fill, fill, fill. And then open up the mouth and exhale. Nice. And then slowly come back. So yogis, it's at this point that we start to find a comfortable seat. First and foremost, I'm a big advocate for sitting up on something. So a meditation cushion or a blanket if you happen to have it at home. We want to elevate the pelvis so it takes some of the over or excessive rounding that happens out of the low back. We want always to collect, or rather connect, to a sense of lightness and buoyancy in the spine. And then in terms of a seat, lots of options. So you can bring foot in front of foot. You can bring shin in front of shin. If it's in your practice, you can take a lotus pose, or you can always sit in a chair. And if sitting is just excruciating for you, feel free to do this laying down. So find a seat or a position that is comfortable for you. So once you've taken a moment and sort of explored, again, we rest the hands on the thighs. And you just do this scan. We've done some movement to open up the body, but just another scan to see where you can call softness into form. Let your breath be received by an ever softening belly. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Take a swallow. Sometimes it helps to release some of the tension that we collect in the mouth or the throat or the jaw. Notice if your tongue is glued to the roof of your mouth, let it fall heavy into the bottom floor. Relax the corners of your eyes. Flesh of the forehead wide. So this softening that's happening in the body, as well as in the spirit. Meditation. There's really only two components needed for meditating. First, you take some time and establish an anchor. Something that is easy to find and something that you can easily return back to. Typically, as yoga and meditation teachers, we instruct the breath. And there's many ways to follow the pathway of your own breath. Maybe you notice the rise and the fall of your belly, or the rise and the fall of your chest as you inhale, followed by an exhale. If that's a bit esoteric or too hard to find, maybe you notice as when you take an in-breath, there's this gentle touching of the air at the rim of the nostrils. And as you exhale, the air gently grazes your upper lips. So following the sensation of your breath. And if that isn't working for you, you can silently say to yourself, in on the in-breath, out on the out-breath. In, out. In, out. breath isn't your anchor, it's just too hard to stay with. Maybe you follow the sounds of the music, or pay attention to the sensations in the body, sometimes the tingling rather of the fingers and toes. This is just to remind you that there is no one specific or set way to meditate. Much like life, you find your way. Once you've taken some time to establish your anchor, the first component of meditation, it brings us to the second. Come back. And for anyone who has experimented with meditation, we know the challenge. So when you find yourself lost in thought or caught in your strong emotional waves, come back. Come back to what grounds you, what centers you, what softens you. Again, just simply getting a sense of your inner world, the shape of your life. Shining this light of awareness on the areas that need it most. Remembering that it's through stillness that we access awareness. Bring more consciousness to the essence of who we are. If you find yourself leaning forward into the future to plan, to prepare and troubleshoot, that's okay. If you find yourself hanging out in the past, mulling over past events, that's okay. When you find that you've entered the space of the past or the future, come back. So much of our life, we're pedaling away from presence. Take up space here, now. Meditation, yoga, it's a healing practice. And healing is essentially just a release from all fear. And again, touching truth, the truth of who we are. And becoming a bit more aware of what is happening around us. let's sit for a few minutes more. And when doing a guided meditation, there's a lot of talking that tends to happen. Sort of this necessary evil. So let's just sit in silence for about 10 more breaths. Making this commitment to come back, to return home, to connect to wholeness. About 3 more breaths, yogis. So use this time. Use this time to touch the aliveness that's housed here in your body. Remembering that we can use our human existence and intelligence to either create or destroy, to ennoble our existence or to demean. Ultimately, we want to reach our highest and fullest potential. Love, connection, peace, unity. This is what happens when we return home, back to self. Take a fuller inhale through your nose. Open up the mouth and exhale. Let's do that one more time, using the breath to return to the space. Inhale through the nose. Open up the mouth and exhale. And feel free to sort of flutter the eyes open, and then just a little bit of movement. Take an inhale, arms are gonna float up. Again, get that space, length. Keep the height of the chest. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then one more time, take an inhale, arms float up. And exhale, hands return to heart space. And you can use the thumbs to lift the chest up, bow the head into the space that you've created. And you just take a moment and you thank yourself. You thank yourself for carving out time and space to step onto the 4 corners of your mat or your meditation cushion, our sanctuary, our sacred space where we come to heal. And remembering that when we heal, we're just touching truth, the truth of who we are, and opening our eyes to what is happening around us. And maybe that helps us to lean into courage, to advocate for accountability, and ultimately to change for the better. Namaste. So again, my name is Kris Blunt, teacher here at TruFusion, and I had the beautiful Leanne and Vanessa joining me. You can catch Leanne teaching fitness and yoga and Vanessa teaching yin as well as kids yoga. Thank you so much for joining us, and until our paths cross again, namaste.